Friends, family, I've gathered you here today to talk about New York Giants football.
Let's go. That's what Platano Power 2 times just said. Shout out Platano Power. First one in the stream. Alex is being extra cringy today. It's exciting.
I know, man. That's it. How's it going, Platano Power? How is your day going today, my friend?
Airborne, shout out. What's up, dude?
He's born, and he's in the air. What's good, my friend? How you guys doing? Figured random little live stream here. What's going on, Zach? My guy, how you doing today? Random Wednesday. If you live in New York, it's hot as a mofo. But I'll tell you what, AC's kicking in on the 21st. I just found out, so mood changed. A little more.
I can guarantee you it is hotter here in Florida. It is awful. It is so humid. I've been going on runs every day, trying to get real healthy for the summer. It's hot boy summer. And
what does that even
been
mean?
kicking my ass because it's so hot outside.
What's hot boy summer?
It's a TikTok thing, I guess. I don't know. MVP, let me get shout out or that sore throat coming back. Anthony, yeah, I'm better now. I had a throat infection. I had like blisters in my throat. It was super painful. And then I had a stomach virus and threw up for 12 straight hours, no stoppage. It was awful. I was super dehydrated for days. I felt like I was dying. I almost went to the hospital to get IV because it was so bad, but I didn't. And here I am. I am ready for Hot Boy Summer.
Zach, I feel like this is like the one thing I missed. Like I go on TikTok pretty frequently. Like I'm watching the trends and stuff. I feel like this is just one thing that I may have missed. But what's going on, Jay, Joe? A lot of J's in here. NFL dead season, my friends, and God, I cannot wait for football. It can't come fast enough. Anthony, we crown no Hot Boy Summers for us. So can you explain this to me? What exactly is this nonsensical Hot Boy Summer?
What Hot Boy Summer? Dude, I don't know. It just means it's summer. So let's be good looking, go hang out at the pool and be hot. I don't know.
Jeez Louise.
Specific about it. Let's just
sister. Jeez. That deserves a sheesh. Guys, though, how we feeling? How we feeling about rookie camp? I know we last weekend kind of was everything went down with the rookies. Kadarius Toney got some action, lost a shoe. That seemed to be the biggest headline of the weekend, which is kind of ridiculous. Azeez Ojulari looked good. I've been seeing clips of Kelvin Benjamin going around. My girlfriend asked me today if I was watching you. I think she's getting annoyed with y'all faces. Man, we must be ugly as hell. We must be ugly. What's going on, Svi? How you doing? Hope you're having a great day as always, my friends. Random live stream. Figure we'd say what's up to you guys. I know it's been a minute since we did a live stream for the draft, but I know it's the middle of the day. It's like 5:50. People getting out from work now, relaxing, hanging out. You know how it is. It's quiet. New York City freaking sucks. There's drilling going outside my window, plus the heat. It's getting brutal. But we're surviving, my friends. We're surviving. I know. I just want to get to mid-August already. Just preseason. I just want to get to preseason. We've been talking about the breakout candidates for this upcoming season, and we did the defensive guys. We did the offensive guys today. That'll be dropping at 7:30. And it was a good video. We talked about, if you guys are here, you'll know the players. I'll just tell you right now. We did Andrew Thomas. We had a nice debate on Will Hernandez. And we did Daniel Jones, who I think is deserving of some sort of respect. And, yeah, you're from the Bronx, Platano. You know how it is. It's hot already. 45 people showed up to voluntary camp. It's a good amount. It's not a ton. I know some other teams had like 75 people show up.
It's more than half.
Right? That's true. I'll take it. I know Leonard Williams
teams had over 80. I think the Chiefs had like 87 or something. Broncos had like 83. Broncos had a lot because all those players are terrified after what happened with Juwan James. So,
Yeah, it's true. That was kind of a messed up situation too. Do you think that was the right thing to do? I feel like, and they did the same thing to Deshaun Hamilton, the guy that tore his ACL and cut him the next day. It's kind of messed up.
If you want to,
because they were working on football.
Was it a classy move? Maybe not. Business decision? Smart.
Yeah. I mean, they saved 10
And
mil.
this is a
That's
business.
a pretty nice chunk of
This
change.
is a business, yeah.
So Jawan
That's
James
the unfortunate reality of the NFL is that these guys are working a job and there's rules. And if they go outside of it, like it's like getting fired. It is a business. It absolutely is. And this is a decision that saved that business $10 million. So, I mean, yeah, I think they made the right decision on their end. It just sucks because it wasn't a classy move and you would like to see the players get more protection, but he went outside of their rule book pretty much. The rules for them is you have to come into the facility to do your workouts, and he didn't. So I don't know. I mean, it's really unfortunate. Juwan James is a super talented player as well. So that sucks, but hopefully he recovers, finds a new team next season, has a good bounce back, and is a good player. So
yeah, facts. And Zach, if you guys missed it, Jawan James got a season-ending injury working outside of the team, and he was due $10 million, and they were like, nah, skirt, peace, cut his ass. He doesn't get any money, and now he's out of a job.
Achilles.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, man. I mean, they cut him like the next day too. They didn't even wait a couple days. They were like, nah, he's gone. And it's not even like he was like jet skiing and he like fell, or like wasn't like he tripped playing paintball. It was like he was working out to get better.
Yeah, he was doing football exercises.
So it's kind of messed up. Hopefully he returns and he's okay in the future. And then they did the same thing to Deshaun Hamilton, who I think tore his ACL too, and they cut him like the next day. They cut him the next day.
He tore his ACL. Juwan James tore his Achilles. Yeah.
No respect.
Ideally, you would like to see the Broncos. You would like to see the Broncos just give them a reduced salary, just pay for their, just give them some sort of money.
Insurance or something.
They just said no. Well, of course they have health care.
No, I'm not talking that. I'm talking like salary insurance. Like if you don't get it or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't know if that exists. But yeah, I guess more opportunities for Lorenzo and William, Lorenzo Carter or Leonard Williams to stroke Drew Lock with a horse chicken. I don't know where you're going with that, MVP.
Alex, you are such a boomer sometimes. Drew Lock with a horse.
Oh,
it's horse cock lock, dude.
I see. That's my bad. Yeah, dude. I feel like I sometimes am in a grandpa in a 24-year-old's head, and yes, I accept your boomer statement. I accept that. Damn it. I gotta, my brain just does not pick these things up right away. I gotta be more on top of that stuff. Otherwise I look like a freaking idiot. It is a little weird, MVP.
Of course, MVP had to say stroke in that comment too. It's really funny.
Yeah, MVP, I got it this time. Anthony said it. Unbelievable. What are the chances, Ramon? How's it going on, my man, Ramon Gonzalez? What are the chances Giants pick up right tackle Morgan Moses if Washington releases Moses? I believe they did already. If they haven't,
they did. I think they did.
They did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh no. Okay, no. Hold on. No, they didn't. I think what they said is he's allowed to go search for a trade. So
I see.
If that doesn't happen, then I think they're going to release him.
And Platano, I think Anthony is older than me, in mind and spirit. I'm like 5 years old mentally, but he is like 7.
I am actually 5 years younger, 4 years younger than Alex. I'm 19. He's 24. So
that's crazy. I do feel like
it is kind of crazy. It is really crazy.
So Zach, who's going to be the best player on the Giants? Do you think? Actually, let's cover that Morgan Moses thing real quick. I doubt they're going to trade for him. If they do, it would be like, I don't know, a 7th round pick for him, 6th round pick for him. And do we need him? No, we don't really need him right now. We have Nate Solder. We got Matt Parrott. Morgan Moses, he's been decent in the past, but I don't think I'm trying to take my chances. He has kind of an injury history, doesn't he? He's missed a couple of games last year. And Carlos, you're 268 years old. You Benjamin Button or something, bro? You're getting younger every day. Started at 500. Unbelievable. And T.I., yes, you might be older than all of us, but I was always 5 to begin with, so there's probably a good chance you're going to be older than me. How did you meet each other with such a big age difference?
That's a good question. Twitter.
So
I DM'd Alex on Twitter.
Yeah, he slid in my DMs, and I accepted him for who he is. Freaking weirdo. And
also, Alex, he has like no injury history. He hasn't missed a game since.
Does he not?
2014. Since 2014.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know,
There's a
but
couple
Morgan
Washington
Moses has been
guys.
really healthy throughout his entire career, and he's
Really?
a decent player. And I don't think that he's a fit with the Giants, though, because you know me, I'm a huge Matt Peart guy.
You're a
So
huge
I
guy.
think
What are you, Kelvin Benjamin? Cut down on the biscuits, bro.
I'm a huge Matt Peart guy, and believe in him.
A huge
So
Matt
you
Peart
know.
guy. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, well, this is actually interesting. Well, Minty's 569 years old. That's an interesting age. I wonder what you've seen, sir. Our airborne cheeseburger. Airborne cheeseburger. That's a good one. Giants and Patriots potentially having joint practices if anyone cares. I care.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
think
what.
that's cool.
I hope Kadarius Toney absolutely shreds ankles in practice. But I'll tell you what. I love those. I loved watching those breakdowns. Not the breakdowns, but the joint practices between DeAndre Hopkins and Washington. Was it Dunbar? Somebody. It was DeAndre Hopkins and somebody, and he was like,
D'Angelo
"Yo, I'll
Hall.
lock you down." D'Angelo Hall, and he was like, "I'll lock you down." And then DeAndre Hopkins goes on to absolutely snipe this man's ankles. I think he actually like almost tore his knee
He
up.
did.
His knee up.
He did it. He did get injured. I don't think he's played since then.
Are you
D'Angelo Hall.
serious?
Well, he was already old as hell when that happened. I haven't
So
seen
he
him on a
sniped
field in
his
a
knee in
while. So.
practice. He sniped his knee in practice in a joint practice, and he hasn't played since then. That has to be the most demoralizing thing I've ever seen.
Hey man, D'Angelo Hall had a pretty good, fruitful career though. Like he was pretty good for a while there. I am excited about the joint practices though. I think that's always good for teams to get involved with other coaches. Because other coaches are going to be helpful. They're going to say, "Oh, hey, make sure you do this." You can hear from a different coaching staff, and then you're also going up against different competition than the one that you're going to face every single day. So it's nice variety. Plus, if the Giants are on Hard Knocks this year. There's a pretty good chance that they are in Hard Knocks. It would be really fun to watch a little Joe Judge, Bill Belichick action on HBO. That would be really cool. It's probably going to be curse word filled. Be really, really cool. I would love to see those two. Just see Joe Judge talk with and interact with Bill Belichick might be really cool. But
imagine
yeah, I don't know. I'm probably more
excited
excited for that than I should be.
Imagine they started arguing or something like on television.
Well, every year at those joint practices, there's a fight between the teams. So of course you're going to see like Will Hernandez and Nick Gates go beat up on like some linebacker for the Patriots. It's going to be real fun. I want to answer this question real quickly. How do we get involved in breaking down game film? Well, we got access to the game film and you study the game. You study different coverages. You study techniques. You study what makes a football player good, what makes them bad. And you study it, you read from actual talent evaluators, from actual NFL players, all pro players. You watch YouTube videos, you really, really study, and then you can break down film. Anyone can do it. It can be a learned skill. You just have to really, really study it and figure out what coverage is what. We have the great benefit, and we're really fortunate. We get to talk to trainers. Like we talked to Brian Walker, Jabril Peppers' trainer. That helps us with breaking down film, of course, and we broke down film with him. So study, and get some connections, and you can break down film too. And it's a lot of fun when you do it. So
it absolutely is. And sticky fingertips. I got that one. Thank you, my good friend. Thank you, my good friend. With our cap being tied for the next 2 years, anyone we release should net high comp pick. That's a very good point, actually. Probably higher than the current trade value of Engram or Shep. Let them play out the contracts. You agree? I'll tell you this. The Giants made a couple mistakes in the past, especially with Janoris Jenkins. I was like, please trade the guy. He doesn't want to be on this team. He obviously wants to be cut. Just trade him and get some value back. And instead, Gettleman refused to trade him. He ended up cutting him like a week after the trade deadline ended because he said something in the locker room that did not resonate well. Very like harmless thing, but it was enough to get him released. It was clearly he didn't want to be here. And they made that mistake. I think
he did say a word. He didn't mean it as a slur, but it was a sort of slur.
The R word.
Yeah, right. And I think he said it to reporters as well, and some of those reporters have disabled children, so it was like not a good look for the organization. So it was like the final straw. Of course, you're going to get cut after that.
Right. All right. Well, in that case, definitely deserved to be, but otherwise, I think they should have been trading him anyway. When it comes to Shep and Engram, if the Giants feel as though they don't need them at the trade deadline, if they feel they can win without them, if they're not producing, if they're whatever, whatnot, and I'll tell you what, I think that they should look to try and flip those guys for draft picks that next upcoming year. Because next year, the Giants added a ton of draft capital for one reason. They can finally go and evaluate these players in person, no COVID crap. The Zoom calls just don't get it done when you're talking to these guys. You can't see them in person and interview them correctly. So they added more picks for that reason exactly. And I think if they do feel they can move on from Evan Ingram, let's say maybe Kelvin Benjamin ends up playing well or whatnot, and Shepard, they see he isn't out after this year anyway, so they can cut him and save some money. Might as well trade him, add draft capital if you're going to cut him anyway, and you save the same amount of money. So if they feel as though they can do that and it's not going to hurt their chances too much, I absolutely think it would be worth doing. So it's worth it to consider at least. And the comp picks, if you do release them, maybe you get some draft picks out of that. But I think I'd rather trade them than hope that we get a comp pick, because I don't know where that's going to land. The formula is very strange, so who knows what we'll get out of that. But I think we missed.
Yeah, that formula is strange. But I'll say, with these players, take it game by game, week by week, year by year. Really just evaluate them in the moment. And when it comes down to that point, do you need cap space? How badly do you need it? Maybe you have to make the cut. Do you have the depth at that position where you can feel comfortable moving on? Giants have quite a bit of depth at receiver now. If they cut Shepard, probably wouldn't be the same. We probably wouldn't have depth at receiver if you cut Shepard, because he's a pretty good player. Same thing with Ingram. So, that's funny. Yeah, we'll pin that.
He's
one.
like Gollum.
I do look like I'm trapped in a dungeon. It's very dark in here, but I got this light. But
Gollum, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for the question. Thank you so much for the donations. Sticky fingers.
Sticky fingers. And Zach, did I come up with a name for EE nickname yet? So I've come up with two. I want you guys to let me know what you think. So I got double E's. So double E. That's one of them. This is my personal favorite, Evan Almighty. You seen that movie? Piece of shit.
Someone on one of the comments, I think, said easy drops instead of easy E. And I kind of like that.
Okay.
I thought that one was funny.
I like that, but I don't want to
bag on the guy too much, right?
I don't want to bag on him too much. I feel like
Evan
Almighty. Evan Almighty is good because it's positive, but it also suggests a shitty movie, so it's kind of like 2 in 1. You feel me? I kind of like Evan Almighty. Okay, so Evan Almighty, that's kind of what I'm sticking with for now. It has double-sided meaning. Shitty movie. Staying positive.
Double entendre. Alex is really impressive.
Exactly. Evan Endgame, because he ended our season. That's freaking hilarious. Very good one, Chap City. Very good one. Evan Endgame. And we'll just scroll to these quickly. T.I., I had to watch y'all's video on Daniel Jones potentially being the guy. I don't know. I'm in the middle with him. Hopefully he can do it. Look, it's been very, really hard to judge him in these past couple of years because he had no weapons. Saquon Barkley's been injured. They traded OBJ the second, Daniel Jones got to the team. Daniel Jones was drafted, and he's like, yeah, like I can finally get OBJ. Actually, I guess that was the year before, right?
No, he was traded like a couple months before the draft.
Okay,
right?
So Daniel Jones was like, damn it, like I literally could have had OBJ, but instead I have literally like nobody. I have literally nobody. They had nobody. I don't know what they were thinking. What is the point of drafting a quarterback if you're not going to give him any weapons? It's freaking ridiculous, man.
Well, he's got weapons now, so let's see what happens.
Easy drops. Easy pass. Easy pass is a good one if you've ever used one of those. Not bad, right?
Yep.
Malik, my man, thank you so much for the donation. Would you agree? DJ was the second best quarterback taken in this draft class, given the fact Locke has underperformed and Haskins already cut. Yeah, I would agree. I think Drew Lock had a cannon. He had accuracy issues. Another guy who's kind of underdeveloped and underwhelmed in terms of his production and development. Haskins was always a piece of annoying crap. The second he was drafted to Washington, did you see his facial expression? He was like, it
looked like Devontae Smith's. Yeah, I know.
He's Devontae Smith. What is it? Everybody wants to come to the Giants. Nobody wants to go to the Eagles or
because of the market. Everyone wants to go to this big New York market. They know that they'll get all the publicity. I mean, I get it. Who doesn't want to play in New York? The bright lights of New York City. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. To quote, famous musicians. But with Haskins, my concern with him was always this. I always thought that he was a good, capable quarterback, a smart quarterback, right? Yeah. Like a good player who could succeed at the next level. But I noticed this, and I said it pre-draft. I don't remember where I said it. I was doing 2 podcasts at the time. So on one of them, I said, and I definitely said it to friends in text messages, if Haskins is going to fail, it's going to be because he's way too self-involved. He's so obsessed with his social media presence. I've never seen a good quarterback come out of college, post as much on social media, post all of his workout videos, his training videos, post all of that stuff, and then succeed. I've never even seen one do it. So I was like, this guy is like way too in love with himself. He's not acting on social media like a leader, like a good quarterback would. Like Eli Manning never had social media. Peyton Manning never had social media. Daniel Jones barely uses social media. And a lot of the top quarterbacks barely use social media because they're so focused on all of the work and all of the work, like, studying that they're doing for the game. So my concern was, is he really devoted? Is he going to study the playbook? Is he going to study the game and try and be a better player? And was he going to train without posting a highlight video, or is he only posting highlight videos and training so that he can post highlight videos? That was always my big question. That was my big red flag. What's his work ethic like? Is it just all facade for social media? Then what happened with him? He gets to the league. They say they think he's dyslexic because he's not reading the playbook. He's not understanding the playbook. He's not training hard enough. He has a bad work ethic. So all of that stuff came true. And ultimately, he flashed a couple really nice throws and some decent games, but he didn't put in the work, and he didn't become a good quarterback because of that. And I do think I give myself a little pat on the back for noticing that. His social media presence and the way that he marketed himself pre-draft, I thought that was a red flag, and it ultimately ended up being the reason that he's no longer a starting quarterback in the NFL. So I do give myself a little pat on the back there.
Good job.
He did smirk. Someone said that he smirked when Jones was picked. That's true. And now Dwayne Haskins got cut from his team. So, goodbye,
5 minutes after he was drafted, 5 minutes after he was drafted, you know what he announced? You want to know what he announced 5 minutes after he was drafted? He was starting an entertainment company with his dad. Tell me he gives a crap about football. Literally, when you have a player, it's like the Eli Apple shit. Like when his mom was so involved, we were like, okay, that's a little weird. And then Dwayne Haskins is like, I'm literally going to start an entertainment company with my pops instead of focus on football, which is okay. Like you can do that stuff, but don't do it right away.
Right. And Haskins, I think, just was so involved with trying to make money and use football as a business instead of actually just becoming a good football player. You have to do that first before you start, branching out and becoming a marketing, brand. Like Eli Manning eventually had such a good deal with Steiner Sports and everything, and eventually was in commercials and became a brand. Peyton Manning as well. Like you look at the Manning family and see what they've done, which is pretty much the success model for quarterbacks. Look at TB12, right? The whole training program that he has. You do that once you're established, not once you get into the league, before you're even in the league, before you've even taken a snap like Haskins did. So that just all didn't make sense. With Drew Lock, he's dealt with injuries. He's dealt with, a lot of stuff, really sometimes a poor situation around him. He was a project anyway. He needed to sit behind a quarterback. He didn't get that opportunity. It is what it is. And then, of course, Kyler Murray, I think, was always the best prospect in that class. Really good player. And, I think that he's going to continue to be the best quarterback from that class. But Jones, I think, has the potential to be a close second.
Make the Raiders. How did a Raider fan get in here? Dude, I thought we locked the doors. But how did you get here, bro? How did you find this?
Hey, man. Las Vegas.
How you doing? I guess I have nothing against you. How you doing?
Pretty
Raider Nation
team.
Just win. Raider Nation in the building. What up? How you doing, man? I guess. I mean, if you were Eagles or anybody else, I'd be like, get the hell out. But I guess you're welcome here.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with the Raiders.
We raid.
I don't have any beef.
Raiders fans actually, honestly, I don't think I've ever met a Raiders fan. I've never met a Raiders fan. They just pop up in your live stream.
One at some
randomly.
point, but yeah, Raider Nation.
They're pioneers. Raiders spam the comments, bro.
I think you're the only Raiders fan in here, Raider Luco. I gotta say, I don't think there's many with you. Prove me wrong, though, if there's any Raiders fan.
I've never seen one of you guys pop up here, but I'll tell you what, Raiders fans are legit. They're crazy bastards, and I respect that.
They had a lot more when they were in Oakland and Los Angeles, that area. They had a lot more fans.
LA
but this transition of Vegas has been interesting.
They're just casuals.
Transition of Vegas has been interesting for them. They got the nice stadium, though. I do at one point want to go over to Vegas, have fun in Vegas, and go over to that stadium because it's pretty.
You know who went to the Raiders? You guys got our leftovers of Curtis Riley. No Angles Riley. How did he do for you?
Riley.
Guy missed every angle you could ever imagine. Jeez Louise. Yeah, Raider fan. Wow. So they had a crappy draft, didn't they?
Justin Tuck went there to retire too. So
everybody goes to retire in Oakland. I guess Oakland.
A lot of players just go to different teams to retire.
He's not wrong. We do need O-line. We do need that.
Yes, we do.
I don't know why. Is your caps lock off or on? Not sure why you're yelling at us. We know this already, sir. We know this. We know the Giants need an offensive line help, sir.
Is that true? The Bucs just signed Curtis Riley? I didn't know that. That somehow slipped through my
That guy is bouncing around teams. Yeah, Bruce Arians is going to see that man. Oh, Lord, he's going to be off that team so fast. He's going to be off that team so fast. We slept on. We made the right draft choices. Who did you guys draft again? I remember looking at it and being like, this guy Gruden is off his wagon, bro. Off his freaking wagon. Let's see who they got. They
drafted Alex Leatherwood in round 1, but they did pretty decent in the middle rounds of the draft. Though they got a couple, nice safeties in there. They did have a pretty decent draft in the middle rounds, but obviously their first round pick was horrible.
Dude, he was supposed to be like a mid-second round pick. They reached.
Who else did they sign, Jay? Oh, I didn't even think he was. He was maybe a second round talent. He's just not a first round
middle
talent,
second round. Middle second round.
Yeah, maybe. Minty, you don't remember Curtis Riley? Curtis Riley was that safety that we had a few years ago that just refused to tackle people and dropped so many interceptions. Like he was like a huge liability on our defense, and he was playing alongside Landon Collins.
I wonder if someone made a highlight video of him.
18 maybe, yeah.
I want to see if someone actually made a highlight video. Someone made a highlight video. Curtis Riley, New York Giants, NFL. Someone actually spent time making this video. That is insane. Look at this. I posted it. Someone actually took the time, a whole couple minutes of their life, piecing together a Curtis Riley highlight video that lasted just under a minute. He has a minute of highlight. I can't even imagine. They're mostly replays, though. He had a couple nights. That guy was already down.
This is true, though. Yeah. Leatherwood, team captain, he's a good leader. He's a good player, played in the SEC. It's just, the value is the thing, right? Like, if you think he's going to be a good player, if you think he's going to be a Pro Bowl player, but he's not supposed to go until the second round, then what you should do, you should trade down and then select him because that's how you extract the value for your pick. If you just reach on a player, you're not getting good value. The Giants, if they would have taken Kadarius Toney at 11, it would have been a huge reach. They traded down to 20. They got an additional first-round pick, fourth-round pick, and fifth-round pick. That's good value. Plus Kadarius Toney, that's good value. That's how you do it. That's always been the thing. If you want to reach on a player, trade down before you do it so that you can get the value that he's worthy of. Yeah.
And James, if you say the O-line is weak, why did Joe Judge believe they're set at O-line? So I'm actually in the same boat as you. I'm just, trying to say.
Because what is he supposed to say? Is he supposed to sit there and say, oh, our offensive line sucks, we need to get new guys in here? They said that they tried to draft Landon Dickerson and a couple of other guys. They verbatim said we were targeting offensive linemen. They just weren't there at the right value in the NFL draft. So what do you expect them to say? Oh, Will Hernandez sucks. I don't like him. I want to trade him. Of course they're going to give him a vote of confidence. Joe Judge, I believe in him. I love him. But he's also playing a smart tactical game. They wanted to improve the offensive line. They didn't find the good value, but it is what it is. They're confident that they can develop these guys. They think that they're better than we think, which is good, and I hope that that's true. I believe in Joe Judge. I believe in the offensive coaching staff now that they've made the proper changes to it, and I don't know. I guess we'll see how the O-line is. Maybe we're all really wrong, and the offensive line is elite this year, but I think that's a little short-sighted to say that Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman are super confident in them. They did try to replace a couple of those guys in the draft. They just didn't find the value.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm in the same boat you are. I feel okay about everybody except Shane Lemieux. I actually think Will Hernandez is going to have a good year if he remains healthy. He's going to have a good year. I feel pretty confident of that. Anthony and I both think Andrew Thomas is going to bounce back in a very strong way. Nick Gates looked great the second half of the year. The guy really is. You could put Nick Gates anywhere, and he's gonna end up succeeding. That guy is the most adaptable offensive lineman I've ever seen. Guy played right tackle, right guard, center. He goes anywhere he wants and he succeeds. It's actually quite impressive. To find an offensive lineman with that kind of adaptability. So I think he'll be just fine. How's it going, my guy, OJ? Everyone's doing well here, man. Join the family. We're here. And there's a Raiders fan who snuck in the back door. I don't know how he got here, but he's with us now, and he's not leaving. So welcome.
He's talking about Leatherwood. Morig, I will agree with you, Raider. You guys did get some good safeties. I like Trayvon Morig. That was great value in the second round. He's a good player. So I'll give you that. I think that the Raiders had a good draft in the middle rounds. It just didn't like the first round pick. I thought if they were going to make that pick, trade down to the back end of the first round and then make it. And then you can extract a lot more value and still get the offensive tackle that you desired and that they apparently did their homework on, as you just said. But,
Facts. And Stacy Killings. When the O-line plays lights out, the sound of crickets is going to be fire. I completely agree with you. I cannot wait. Like, I've probably been one of the more optimistic people when it comes to the offensive line the last couple months, last couple of weeks. And I have to imagine if Joe Judge and that coaching staff believed that they didn't need to draft anyone, didn't need to sign anybody, they had the money for it, obviously. They went out and signed a ton of guys.
They tried to draft
no offensive
people,
linemen.
though. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay, but they didn't draft anybody. So look, trying is different than doing. They could have got Vera Tucker if they wanted to. They could have acquired that first round value, traded up a couple spots, got Vera Tucker, but they didn't. They went with Kadarius Toney. They could have went with Tevin Jenkins. They could have traded up and got Tevin Jenkins. Like they could have done. They could, if they really wanted an offensive lineman, they would have went and got one.
Well, they were hoping Tevin Jenkins would fall to 42, and then they would have taken him, but he didn't. Like they didn't find the value. They're not going to reach on players. That's the whole point. That's what Dave Gettleman was saying. He didn't want to reach, but he did want to get offensive linemen if they were there.
I get that. I mean, look, Tevin Jenkins was taken 39th overall. They could have moved up 3 spots and gotten him if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like they could have gotten him. But again, this is a situation where I think the team, they felt comfortable with what they had, that they didn't need to overspend to get an offensive lineman. They didn't need to give up draft capital. They didn't need to spend money. Clearly they were like, okay, if we don't get one, then we don't get one. We're still okay. So that's why I'm a little optimistic. I trust Joe Judge. I trust his coaching staff at this point. And I'll tell you what, I think Will Hernandez, Thomas going to have a fine season. Gates going to have a fine season. Shane Lemieux, very worrisome. But I'll tell you what, Shane Lemieux, he's a worker, man. I know he kind of sucked really badly last year, really badly. But he's working hard. He was at voluntary workouts. He was the first person in the door with Jonathan Harrison before 6 a.m. He wants to get better. The work ethic is there. That's all you can ask for from a second-year player, He's another guy who didn't have that same preseason, didn't have the same live action. I'm pretty bullish on this offensive line right now, while most aren't. I'm not confident that Shane Lemieux is going to be a good starter, but I'm happy to see that he's putting the work in. At least it makes me feel better about it, if that makes any sense.
Makes sense. I get it. I'm hopeful for the offensive line too. I see reasons why they might succeed and be a good unit, but I see a lot of reasons why they will fail and not be a good unit. It's, it's a coin toss. We'll see what happens, but, a lot of question marks on the offensive line. It's the one thing that makes me really uneasy about the Giants offense. Everywhere else, I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, guy. And let's look at T.I. real quick. So in terms of the backup running backs, who was a good shot to make the roster if all goes well? Corey Clement or
I think that they both do. I think they both have a good shot. I prefer Raquel Armstead. I think that he is the more almost versatile player. Yeah, he's younger. I think, he was really solid for Jacksonville before.
He was in line to be their running back one.
2019. Yeah, 2019. He was really solid. So, I don't know.
They were saying he could be their top guy.
And from what I've seen, he's pretty decent in pass protection, which is something the Giants need out of their running backs. That's where Saquon really falters. So, I don't know. I like him. But I know that Corey Clement makes impact on special teams, and JoJo's loves special teams. So if I had to bet, Corey Clement will make it. That's going to be my bet, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I think this is how it's going to go. I think that it'll be Saquon, Devontae Booker, Gary Brightwell, and then they're going to practice squad Armstead. And maybe Clement, maybe both of them. That's kind of how I feel. Zach, do I do Yankee stuff? I do. I read a lot about the Yankees. I actually am a huge Yankees fan. We might not know this, but
Alex does a lot of Yankees stuff. That man is really active on Twitter with the Yankees and articles on ESM. Just go check that out.
I write articles every single day about the Yankees, so I'm very up to date with them. And I'll tell you what, Jameson Taillon looked like crap yesterday, and Aaron Hicks. Honestly, I hate any player to be injured, but he was playing so poorly. They're better off without him. Giancarlo Stanton, just an injury waiting to happen. Disaster. But I'll talk about the Yankees another time because they piss me off with all the injuries. It's unbelievable. And Zach, that's actually pretty cool. 5th-gen Yankees fan. You have it in your bloodline. I actually don't have it in my bloodline. I grew up playing baseball, and it's what it is. I bet the Raiders go further than the Giants this season. You just love hot takes, don't you, Raider Luco? Just love just inserting hot takes into our chat. The Raiders go further than the Giants this season. Probably not. Gruden finds a way to screw it up one way or another.
The Raiders were pretty decent last year. They play up or down to their competition. I feel like they got worse this offseason, though. They're one of the few teams. Well, I don't know. They made improvements in some areas. We'll see.
Offensive line, dude, I don't know. Their offensive line is a literal Swiss cheese slice.
Well, they gave away tore the thing apart. So,
and all they did was get Alex Leatherwood as their guy. Like,
they did re-sign Colton Miller to a big contract. Colton Miller isn't really
he's good.
An elite tackle, though. He's good. Yeah, he's good.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I think the Giants can be better. Aside from our offensive line, our weapons, dude. Kenny Galladay, and I was just thinking about this. Our tallest receiver last year was Evan Ingram at 6'3". Our tallest receiver was Evan Ingram at 6'3", and he's a tight end. Our receivers actually were I think Darius Slayton might have been our tallest one. Dante Pettis, maybe 6'1". Now we have Kenny Galladay at 6'4". We have Evan Ingram at 6'3". Kyle Rudolph at 6'6". Kelvin Benjamin 6'5". Kadarius Toney, I think, is 6 feet. We added a ton of height this offseason. I'm so excited just about these weapons that we can finally utilize to our advantage. It's been ridiculous. Oh, now you're getting crazy, bro. Cowboys, their defense is absolute garbage. I mean, they didn't even pick up the 5th-year option for Leighton Vander Esch. They lost Alden Smith, I think. Their secondary, they lost Cheeto Awuzie. They have nobody. Their secondary, they have Kelvin Joseph. That's it. That's their defense is absolute trash. Dak Prescott is the only way. That offense is the only reason that team will be good next year. Their defense is once again going to be terrible.
I think that they're going to be a pretty decent team. I think their defense is going to improve
because of their offense. I don't think
they got
so.
Micah Parsons. They got Micah Parsons, and they made some
but he's a run stopper.
They got Keanu Neal. He's a pretty decent guy. I think that they made some decent.
Always
moves.
Injured. Keanu Neal, was he coming off an Achilles tear? Something pretty significant, but I don't know, man.
I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're the team to beat in the division. Them in Washington, dude. It's.
Keanu Neal he played 14 games last year, 15 games last year, but he played in 4 the previous 2 years. He actually had a decent year. He had 1 interception and 100 tackles at free safety. Wasn't a terrible year, but you never know. He's injury prone, so he could go down easily.
Well, that Cowboys offense, dude, it still has Zeke. They still got Tyron Smith at left tackle. Dak is coming back. Still got Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb is in his 2nd season. He's going to be really good. They got talent out there, all right? They've got a lot of talent on offense, and Blake Jarwin is all of a sudden really good. So, I don't know.
I'm just happy we stole. So these are the cornerbacks: Anthony Brown, Deontay Burton, Maurice Kennedy, Trayvon Diggs, C.J. Goodwin, Kelvin Joseph, Jordan Lewis, Israel Makwamu, Reggie Robinson. I mean, I would probably say Anthony
I don't think
Brown's
it's the worst
okay.
unit. I think they've got a few capable
Trevon
stars
Diggs.
that need to just develop.
Yeah, let's see if they can.
I want to answer
MVP.
First. Randy Moss or Tyreek Hill. That's the discussion on Twitter today. It's Randy Moss, but Tyreek Hill. Okay, here's the thing. I like Pro Football Focus a lot, and this I'm going to get into a little spiel here. Pro Football Focus is awesome. I do love Pro Football Focus and the advanced analytics and statistics that they provide us with. There's a section of Pro Football Focus that gets them into a lot of trouble because they have a little group that's dedicated just making hot takes. And that's not where Pro Football Focus's strengths are. The hot takes are not good for anybody. Like PFF's hot takes, I don't understand why PFF does that to themselves, because they lose all their credibility, because they do have all these great analytics and premium stats. If they would just show that off and let people get into that part of it and read some of their really good articles, I mean, that stuff is really, really quality content. The hot takes then distract all the guys who don't want to get into the quality content, don't ever get to see the quality content because their hot takes are ridiculous. That stuff I don't like. I just wish that they would do less hot takes and just promote their quality content instead. But yeah, it's Randy Moss because he is the more established Hall of Fame wide receiver, and he's 6'4" and he mossed everybody. We call it mossing for a reason. He is the deep threat of the century. And until Tyreek Hill can, rack up 1,000 more touchdowns and prove that he's better than Randy Moss, it's too soon to say something like that. And yeah, Randy Moss. I don't think anyone's gonna do any better than him.
Look, unless
Thank you,
Tyreek Hill walked
Be
out
sure
on
to like and
stilts,
support.
no way. Unless Tyreek Hill ran out on stilts, there's no way. Look, he's fast and he gets behind defenses, but Randy Moss, you just throw the freaking ball up and he'll catch it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of player he was. Like, he was fast, strong, and tall. He wasn't Tyreek Hill fast, but he didn't need to be. You know, he didn't need to be. So I'm with Randy Moss all day long, not even close.
Honestly,
whoever said that was kind of ridiculous.
He wasn't that much slower. He wasn't that much slower.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't like Tyreek Hill's probably faster, but Moss, it doesn't matter because once you have that kind of speed that Moss had, and the height and the weight and the catching ability, the guy's perennial all-pro player. Like, it's stupid. Not even freaking conversation. What's going on, Shane? My guy, Rob Green. Let's talk Giants. What's your prediction for the O-line pie position? Well, obviously, Thomas at left tackle, Hernandez at left guard, Nick Gates at center. Right guard, I actually have no idea what they're going to do with that. I think it'll end up being Shane Lemieux, unless they sign somebody, which could happen. And right tackle, I think Matt Parrott will end up starting. So that's kind of what I think they're going to do. They're going to go with the young guys. What do you think, Anthony?
I think in terms of the offensive line, you've got some issues, some question marks at guard. I do think Lemieux ultimately starts. Not too excited about that, but I think that if he struggles, you're going to see Zach Fulton go in there because he is decent. He's a veteran. He's got experience. Will Hernandez, I do expect him to be a lot better this year than he was last year. He has a lot more going for him this year. I think that he should be a solid average to slightly above offensive guard, which is really all the Giants need at that position. So, and then answer a couple other things. Airborne Cheeseburger. Yeah, that did depress me a little bit. I'm really sad to see Micah Parsons as a Cowboy. He really wanted to go there, apparently. Man. He was hoping and praying that he would go to Dallas, so good for him. Happy for him. But I hope that he's an absolute bust, even though I really, really liked him. Hope that he's a bust.
I believe everything they said about him now. I believe everything. I believe all the allegations are true. They're all true. Now that he's on Dallas, they're all true. They only draft criminals. I don't know if that's actually true, but I want to believe it. So, Rob, reason I asked about O-line, could you see Florida center taking center and Gates going to right guard? So the Florida center, Brett Hedgie is what we're talking about. He is raw, man. I do not think Brett Hedgie is ready to start an NFL game.
He's decent depth, man.
He's good depth for the future. He's, good tangible traits, decent size, good strength, but the guy's all over the place. His fundamentals are very poor, bad hand placement, bad footwork. He looks for work. He's a strong guy, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's going to be a starter anytime soon. He might end up being a reserve guy in a year, 2 years maybe, but I wouldn't get your hopes up on him being an immediate day one starter. So let's give him a year or two, and then we'll see how it goes. Nick Gates, totally fine, keeping him at center. Having a good center in the NFL is extremely important, because he's communicating to the rest of the offensive line. He's helping those guys, those interior guys, and I think Nick Gates at center is exactly where I want him. He looked really good at the second half of the year. I think he's going to be just a phenomenal player for us next season. Now let's look at Michael DeRosa. Who will your surprise offense and defensive players be? So we did 2 videos. One's coming out at 7:15, I believe. Another one came out yesterday. On defense, I think my top guy is Dexter Lawrence. I love Dexter Lawrence. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. Offensively, probably going to go with Daniel Jones. I actually think he's going to have a very good year as well. All these different weapons for him. He can't get any worse, right? That's kind of the idea. Well, knock on wood. I don't think he can get any worse.
Thing with Jones is, I don't know if I would call it a surprise. We're expecting him to break out this year. So I guess depending on how
it's breakout candidates.
How greatly he breaks out. If he breaks out really greatly, it could be a surprise. My surprise picks are going to be Xavier McKinney. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people because people kind of forgot about him since he was injured for the most of last season. So I think that he surprises, has a really great season. And then my surprise on offense, if we're going by the word surprise, is going to be Matt Parrott. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people and establish himself as a starting offensive tackle in the NFL, which I can't wait for. I'm really excited. And you guys know I'm a huge Matt Parrott guy, so really, really excited to see him finally get his opportunity.
Yeah, facts. I'm pretty bullish on these players, defense and offense. It's going to be exciting, guys. This season might be one of our more enjoyable ones. The past couple of years have sucked. We started covering this team and they started sucking, like absolute cheddar. Yes. So now we finally have an opportunity to watch a good team, hopefully, We have an opportunity to enjoy the development of some of these players. We have Joe Judge, who is inspiring for the most part, compared to lackluster in the past. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Well, he's actually got the team doing conditioning. Sterling Shepard said the last two coaches didn't even have the
Right?
Giants.
What is that about?
So that's really, really exciting. I love Joe Judge, trusting him fully. Zach, I don't watch hockey, so I don't have any predictions for the playoffs. Alex might. I don't know. I don't
really watch hockey that much. I know the Islanders are playing. They lost yesterday, but I mean, this is a New York fan.
Islanders are my team.
I'm
I
a
don't
Rangers
really.
fan.
Yeah, I don't really watch. I'm an Islanders fan, but I don't really watch. I couldn't even name a single player on that team. I can name a couple Rangers players because I have a friend of mine who's a big Rangers fan, but I don't pay attention to it. Record, what we think the record will be, I'm going to tell you, I think the Giants win 10 or more games this year. That's going to be my
10 or more games.
Prediction. I think they win 10 or more.
With that extra game, I think so too. Please don't ruin our year, Garrett, says every single person. I really hopefully does not ruin this season for us. John Ross would be a surprise. That's a good one, Shane. I think that's a good one too. Michael DeRosa, what do you two guys studying in college? So I'm actually out of college. I graduated a couple of years ago. Anthony, on the other hand, is still in college, still an infant on the teat, and he is studying. What are you studying? I don't know.
I am a business management major with double minor, sports business and marketing. So that's what I'm doing. Business.
Interesting.
Life
so
is
Zach, you're a Pennsylvania guy. So you ended up as a Giants.
Thank God you didn't end up a freaking Eagles fan.
Yeah, man, you escaped one there. Wouldn't be trusted.
We got another fan base infiltrated. The Texans are not in any position to talk about a quarterback room right now because they don't even have a quarterback. So
how did you get in here? Raiders fan and now a Texas fan, like the most random two people ever.
It's pretty random. But
why are you even mentioning the Texas? And at the same time, good sir, you have your own quarterback thing going on right now. So I don't worry about the fact that Deshaun Watson not even freaking playing. We don't even know what's going on with him. So worry about your own damn quarback. Leave
Texans might end up with the first overall pick this year. Legitimately, they've been projected to.
Seriously, yeah. Daniel Jones, at least he'll be playing, and he's smoking cigars with Will Hernandez right now in Hoboken. I don't know that for a fact, but I assume he's always smoking cigars with Will Hernandez in Hoboken.
What part of Florida am I from? Okay, so originally I'm from Long Island, but I did move to Florida. I live down in Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter area, the 561. But I go to school in Central Florida, DeLand. It's 20 minutes from Daytona. So I kind of live in two places right now. And that's the area. I live in South Florida, but I go to school in Central Florida and trying to find a school for sports management. I don't know if I'd necessarily say that Stetson University is good for sports management, but they do have one of the best business schools in Florida, and sports management is a part of that. So, they've got pretty good business down there and a lot of good connections through alumni. So you could definitely check that out if you're interested. Stetson University.
Yeah, Mike, that's good. That's a good idea. Where is everybody from? Let us know where you're from in the chat. Joe is from New Jersey, the land of pizza and construction. Or I guess I don't know, you guys, New Jersey is the weirdest state ever. Like you have MetLife in the middle of a freaking swamp, and then you have like tons of companies and warehouses and crap stretching as far as the eye can see in New Jersey. And then you have like really nice parts of New Jersey.
Good food.
Well, yeah, it's like a melting pot. It's like New York. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. New Jersey's all right. Texas, Houston. All right, Houston's cool. I mean, a couple of years ago, they had the most obese people in the world. But maybe they're doing better now.
What a random statistic. Where did you even find that?
It's true.
Joe's from Brooklyn. Shout out BK. Shout out Brooklyn.
Yeah, you're really close to me, sir. Really close to me. Cali, Shane's in Cali. Good looks. I'm from Cali. Joe, you probably I live in Manhattan, so you're probably close by. San Diego.
Michael's from South Carolina. That's pretty cool.
Riverview, Florida, 15 minutes from Tampa. What's your address, Jay? We'll come say what's up. Everybody will come say what's up. Let's see what else we got.
Airborne, I didn't know you were from Maryland. Maybe I did. I forgot. My girlfriend lives in Maryland. That's interesting. Airborne. How do you like Maryland? I've been like once, and it was like when I was really little. But How do I watch
Max
Giants
in
games from
Belgium?
Florida? It's not easy. I have the Sunday ticket though, and that means I'm like a minute behind everyone else who actually lives in New York. So it's annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Someone's from
We have a guy,
Tampa. Tampa's
Max.
cool.
Yeah, Max is from Belgium. I'm planning to go on a trip with my pops to go potentially to Belgium to get some good beer. Cantillon, I think, is the brewery he wants to go see. PA outside, the trash. Good stuff, Zach. Jersey has a little bit of everything. Why is there a Texas fan here? Poor fella. He stumbled in here. I think he might be intoxicated. CJ talks movies, East Orange, New Jersey. Mike, South Carolina. A long ways from home, sir. But I'm originally from the Bronx, from Jay.
T is from Long Island, New York, living in Palm Beach County. Same as me. I'm from Long Island and I live in Palm Beach County.
The only good thing about Philly is their cheesesteaks. That's a fact. Sarasota, Florida,
I do love
Pasadena.
cheesesteaks. I really do.
Cool. Yeah, man. We got a lot of Floridians here. So many Floridians. Texas.
4 seasons in Maryland. That's good.
I
have 2 seasons in Florida. We have the wet season and the dry season. So
yeah.
It's real
and
fun.
Raider Luco, I can confirm New York absolutely has some of the shittiest people in the world. You're gonna think you caught me off guard with that one. No,
but it
still has
the best.
You ever been to New York City?
You ever been to New York City? Has the best.
You ever been to New York City? You will know that they have some shitty people here. Absolute shitty people. I love them all, but they're shitty people. I consider myself part of the shitty people from New York. Everyone, if you're from New York,
New York has
great
people, but some of them aren't so great, But I don't know. I love New Yorkers. New York culture. I just love New York.
It's the brutal.
I miss New York so greatly. So greatly, I do.
CJ, how far am I from East Rutherford? I am approximately, however far from Manhattan, so maybe like 40 minutes away, probably.
It's not too bad.
What's going on, Seamus? You could take a bus right there. Seamus is back in action. Zach, I appreciate you. I try to be a good New Yorker. I don't curse people out in the streets. People literally like you bump into them and they give you looks that you'll never forget. You know what I mean? Like, they are savages in New York. I mean, Floridians, they're also pretty bad. There's people bad
God. Florida drivers are the worst drivers. They're terrible. And I can't help but to, project the things that I've learned from my New York family when I'm driving and just get really, really angry when I have some dumb 90-year-old bum who can't even see past a steering wheel cut me off on the highway. I get pretty freaking pissed, and I hate driving in Florida, and I live here, so it sucks.
Yeah.
Dad was originally from Brooklyn, but his family moved to West Palm. That's pretty cool. My mom's from
lives
Brooklyn,
there,
and we live in West Palm, so that's cool.
How big is West Palm? I feel like the West Palm is the biggest thing ever.
The Palm Beach County is really, really large. West Palm Beach is like 10, 15 minutes south of where I am, but Palm Beach Gardens is technically part of West Palm Beach, but it's like same area, and then a little further north, still technically part of Palm Beach Gardens, is Jupiter, but it's really its own thing. And then you get into like Hope Sound and other places. But Palm Beach County is very, very large, and that includes
it seems like it.
Boca is part of Palm Beach County. Like, you go further south, it's still Palm Beach County. Like, it is just very, very big. But it's nice. There's a lot of nice areas.
Great question, Mike. I have a very good one for this. A very good answer for this. Best game you've been to in person at Giant Stadium. I was at the game that Victor Cruz ran that 99-yard touchdown pass on the Super Bowl year. I was at that game against the Jets. That's freaking awesome. And I saw Ahmad Bradshaw.
That was on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think it was Rodney Poole, maybe, that Ahmad Bradshaw absolutely torched this man. Like, ran him over. He had to leave the game. It was so bad. But that catch, I'll never forget seeing Victor Cruz dodge that guy and just take off up the sideline. I was going nuts. It was freezing cold. It was like 10 degrees outside. It was freezing cold.
Christmas Eve, of course it was.
Yeah, and it was, I'll tell you what, best Christmas present I've ever had. I was with a bunch of friends in the last row of the entire stadium. It was insane. It was the best game I've ever. It was the best thing I've ever seen in person. Like, it was the best. It was just an incredible moment. I wish I could go back in time and watch that game.
That sounds
Seamus
like fun.
Eli.
I'll answer it too as well.
I
went to my favorite in-person game that I've been to, 2 of them in Florida. I went to Daniel Jones's first start, which was the hugest roller coaster of emotions that I've ever had. looked like we won when he ran in the game-winning touchdown. Then they went down there, were about to score. I was sitting in my seat in a depression. Then they missed a field goal, and we exploded like we won the Super Bowl. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
And then I was also at the game in Miami, the Monday night football game, where Odell had like a hat trick. He had like 3 touchdowns. Eli Manning had like 5 total or 3 total incompletions, just went off. That one was super, super fun. I went with my uncle, so I made it a little more special. And then really, really long time ago, like 2009 or 10, I went to a Giants-Falcons game in Giants Stadium, not even MetLife Stadium. This was a long time ago. Giants Stadium. Went into overtime against the Falcons. Kevin Boss had like 2 or 3 touchdowns that game. Shout out Kevin Boss, old school tight end for us. And we won on a field goal. Shout out Lawrence Tynes. It was a really, really good game. Eli played pretty good. They've won every game I've gone to except for one against Tampa in 2017. That was a cursed season, though, so it doesn't really count. I think that I'm a good luck charm for the team. And someone asked me in here just a second ago, CJ, would I rather do Buccaneers game or Dolphins game? Buccaneers game, the tickets, really, really pricey right now, but I will be somehow managing my way into going to both of them because they're in my state, and I'll go with my family. So if you're there and I'm there, you can possibly meet me. You can, if you're in the same section as me, you can walk over. I will absolutely say hello.
He's too
love to
famous.
Talk to fans. Love to interact.
Anthony's too
love
famous.
Interacting with fans, but I will be with my family, so it'll have to probably be brief. Unless Alex ends up coming down for one of them, then we'll probably do a fan meetup or something. But that's far down the road. We'll talk about that.
I would do that. I'd come down. I got family there. I'd come to Florida.
Miami one would
not
make
willingly.
Sense for you since you have family.
Not
in West
willingly,
Palm,
but
so.
That's facts. That's facts. How long have I known Anthony for? What? 3 years? 2 years?
2018. So yeah, we're going on 3 years. Almost.
3 years?
It was midway through the 2018 season, and we haven't started this season, so it's been like 2.5 years.
Damn, Nicholas, that's unfortunate. Where are you from, Nicholas? You've never been to a game because you're not American. Honestly, I enjoy watching on television as much as I do watching in person. I have to be honest. I really enjoy the
game on television, but the freaking atmosphere in the stadium.
No, the atmosphere is dope. It depends also the weather. I always go when it's cold, so it sucks. But if it's nice weather and it's enjoyable, then I could totally I could buy it. Like it's probably so much better. I don't know why I always end up going when it's cold. It's just freaking torture. But Carlos, we got an extra game this year. So it's 17 games.
We have 17 games on the schedule. 18 weeks. Bye week is still there, but 17 games. So 17-0. Someone can get me season ticks. I would really, really, really appreciate that. And I would love to go 17-0 and be the reason why. That would be great. Radio is pretty decent. Radio is not my favorite, but it is pretty decent to listen to on the radio.
If you watch the game with the radio commentary, way better. Radio commentary sucks.
Bob Pop and Carl Banks can't beat them. They're awesome.
They're so much better. Like the ESPN guys and they just, I feel like they say crap and they don't mean it. And half the time it's like totally wrong. You know, I'm sitting there like, I feel like anyone could do better than this. You know, it's ridiculous. And CJ, did y'all Cruz sign that? Yes, I got Victor Cruz's jersey up here. Let's see if I can show you real quick.
I've got some pretty good memorabilia. I could show it off sometime.
Yeah, he signed it. I actually won this in a auction. It says Victor Cruz. It's pretty cool. It's a huge jersey. I can never wear it. It would look like a garbage bag over my head.
Nicholas, I hope you get to achieve your dream, and I believe that one day you will. So one day you'll be able to go. Trust me, dude. It'll be awesome.
From Cyprus. That's awesome. That's so cool. And Shane, we need to get some press passes next year. We'll try and get in some games this year. I have the links and everything, but next year when we're going to be working our butt off, presenting some new types of content, and hopefully we can convince them. It's really hard. The Giants are really hard with their style, their requirements. A lot of the people are old school. They have to have like in-person content, or rather like newspaper style, like legitimate like paper. It's a pain in the ass, but we're working on it, my friend.
Yeah, we're working on it. And we have a couple connections. We might be able to get into a game or two on the road. We'll see. I know Chicago is one that we're going to be looking into and trying to get into, so that'll be fun. and see how that goes. We've gotten press passes to events before. I did go to Tom Coughlin's charity event in 2019. That was an awesome experience, really cool. And I'm sure I'm sure in 2021 they didn't have it in 2020, which sucked because Eli Manning was going to be there. He got a little induction, but I would assume 2021 they're going to have it again in Manhattan in October, and I'll try and go to that one again, and hopefully Eli will be there, and I'll get a little interview for you guys. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So thank you for joining us tonight. A little live stream for an hour, talk some shop. And Shane, they really are kind of a little Jurassic with it. They've just recently stepped it up with their content game and got some young people to do TikToks and all that crap. So they're doing better starting to adjust. So hopefully we can sneak in the back door and get some passes and really revitalize the content, because a lot of the beat writers and stuff are mainly just written content. And they do well on Twitter and stuff, but we want to bring another level of content in terms of TikToks and Instagram and everything in between. So we're excited to do that eventually. But as for now, we will continue to do what we do best, provide you with information in a unique and special way. So really appreciate you guys, tuning into this little live stream today that we randomly did because we felt like we wanted to talk to you guys and give back a little bit for all the support you've offered us. And, we'll do some more scattered throughout. I think we're going to start up a little Madden stuff, which would be kind of cool. Doing some Madden rebuilds, and maybe Anthony and I. So we had an idea. Let me know what you guys think of this before you go. We were thinking before each game during the regular season and preseason, we were going to play a Madden simulation. Like Anthony would be the opposition or I would be the Giants and vice versa. And we would do a simulation game, post it on YouTube, and see how close they get to actually being the real one, the real score of the game and stuff. So I think that would be a really cool little simulation that we can do. We'll obviously narrate the whole thing. Really fun. But guys, appreciate all the love as always, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning into Fireside Giants. Anthony, I'll let you give the final word.
Go check out Manscaped, dude. I have to say this because I've been using the products. Like, I freaking love them, and it smells great. And I've gotten compliments. It's great quality stuff.
It's freaking
and it's
weird.
Affordable too. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
He has a girlfriend now, so
wink, wink, hint, hint. Go check out the Manscaped products. Go use code Fireside for 20% off. It's a super, super nice discount. The 20% off is great. They're already affordable as it is. So go check it out. Help support us, and also we wouldn't try and sell you something that we don't like and that we don't really, believe in. Like, I love these products. They're awesome. So help support us. Go, check out Manscaped and get some good products because they're pretty great. Florida is where you use a Manscaped. Okay.
Yeah.
Raider.
Anthony's girlfriend stayed with him just for the Manscaped products, apparently. It's the rumor around town.
Apparently, yeah. She was like this close to breaking up with me. Then I whipped out the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, and she was like, I'll give you another month or two. Let me see how this goes. It's going
ball well. Deodorant? No. That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Peace out, my friends. Have an awesome evening. Have a nice drink. Relax. Enjoy the absolute ridiculous heat in New York City. If you're in Florida, enjoy the humidity, Anthony. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.
See you guys.